Welcome back to Grass Doesn't Exist. It's me. You know who it is already.
Okay. Who is it? Who is it?
It's Daichi.
Oh my god, Shadow.
Now look at us.
Yep.
Look at us. It's been a fun week.
It's been a very fun week, or has it?
It's debatable.
It's been...
It was Super Week.
Yeah, but it's also been a couple days since Valentine's Day.
It has. And so I know that you have a wonderful partner that you spent Valentine's Day with.
Yep.
Me, however, I am forever alone.
Okay.
And in doing so, I've come up with a tradition that I do every Valentine's Day.
Oh yeah, what is it?
Yeah. So I go and play games like Valorant, League, Overwatch. I'll go to these games and I'll specifically hunt down anyone that has an E-couple name.
Oh goodness.
And there's some good ones out there.
Yeah.
There's also some bad ones.
So you just be ganking bot all the time as a jungler, right?
Without a doubt,
yeah.
Bot lane. I will int to kill them. I will purposely lose my games if it meant that I can ruin their day.
And that is a happy Valentine's Day.
Yeah, that's my happiness. My happiness is in ruining their happiness.
Sounds like
if you want to be cute and lovey-dovey, do it out of my game.
You know what they say? To enjoy League of Legends, you have to make the opponent miserable.
Yeah, but I did come to a conclusion though, is that some of their names are hit and miss.
Yeah,
and so.
Some are very, very inappropriate. And
some are very cute.
Yeah.
And so I have created somewhat of a list.
Okay. Yeah.
That I want to run by. I want your opinions on these names.
Run it down on me.
Okay. So, do you want the cringe ones first or the cute ones first?
Cute ones first.
Cute ones first? Okay. French fries and ketchup.
Okay. I guess that's cute.
Yeah. Butter and popcorn.
Okay.
Yeah.
Kind of cute, I guess.
It's Baby Pooh, Baby Bear.
I'm going to throw up.
Funny and Bunny.
Okay, that's just
Cherry and cream. Mac and cheese. Salt and pepper.
Okay, these are all so basic.
But they're cute, though. Batman and Robin. The ultimate duo.
Batman and Robin. Oh
Romeo and Juliet.
Oh, no.
They'll kill themselves in the end.
Oh, God, that's gross.
Mario and Luigi.
Okay, I like that one. That one I'd take.
Ash and Pikachu.
That one's kind of cute, I guess.
Yeah.
You can tell I'm biased, but the food ones are just...
Lady and the Tramp. That might be too old of a reference for you.
No. I know what it is. Don't worry about it.
Okay. Just Eve and Wally.
Okay, yeah, I saw that one. That was pretty common.
Jack and Jill. Classic. It's been around forever. Drake and Josh. That one can be weird if a couple's doing it because those are technically like brothers. That one's weird. And if it's like a gay couple doing it too, that's weirder. Gamers. It gets a little bit Goku and Chi-Chi.
Goku and Chi-Chi.
Yep. We don't care about any other partner in there. Joker.
Well, I got a couple names.
Are we still on the cute ones though?
No.
Oh, well,
I didn't say any cute ones.
Let me go over my cringe ones for you.
No. Give me. Let me share first.
Okay.
Just like a little bit. We'll go back and forth. Okay.
What do you got?
Bubbles and I blow bubbles.
Okay. Classic.
Your turn.
Toaster. Bathtub.
Oh God. Yeah. I got that one too. Sperm cell. Egg cell.
That's classic.
Very classic.
Dog. Master.
A little BDSM twinkled inside there.
Yeah.
Therapy and I need therapy.
Her vent. His imposter.
That's pretty cringe.
Yeah.
That's pretty cringe. I don't know what to say this. Cousins by change. Lovers by choice.
That's pretty good. Child predator. Child.
Are we allowed to say that?
If the video games allow it, then we're allowed to say it. Is that not how it goes?
That's true. Innocent child. Okay. White van.
I saw one, but it wasn't innocent child white van. It was child candy van.
Oh, okay. Same thing.
Yeah. Her meatballs, his spaghetti. Another food one, but kind of more.
Yeah.
Ooh. Also, there's cum and then dumpster. Yeah.
Did you have to say that one?
That was a big oof. It exists.
Was that necessary?
That was actually in a Valorant game.
Okay.
I got that one. I actually got that one, which was the crazy part.
Is our podcast like 18 plus now?
I don't know.
Well, this episode is, okay?
Yeah, we'll figure it out. I will say there's a couple on Valorant though that I've seen on TikTok that are wholesome, and it's just like cool mom, cool dad.
Okay.
And they're both of them like stream.
Oh, that's
and, like,
cute.
Yeah, they like try to motivate people and stuff.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Like bronze?
I have no idea what ELO, but just the fact that like other people just go, "Will you be my dad?" Oh yeah, 100%, and I'll be supportive of you. And like the people just break down. I'm just like,
holy crap!
Like they just go in there and just,
I'll be your mommy.
Yeah, but they'll want it though.
Oh my god.
That's the cringe part about it.
I mean, because there's so many people out there with not the best relationship with parents. Like, honestly, I think that's great.
That probably also explains a lot of the couple names.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got me there.
Yeah. Like
the toaster one.
The toaster one.
Yeah.
What was it? I also on Valentine's Day I did see a TikTok of two couples that were on the same team fighting over each other because you had butter, toast, toaster, bathtub.
Oh my god! I think I saw that one too.
And
they just end up in the same game, right?
Yeah.
In the same team?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the toast and the toaster were separate because it was the butter and toast were together, and then the toaster and bathtub were together. But the toaster was trying to get the toast involved in their relationship, and butter wasn't having it.
Oh my god!
And then bathtub described it as, well, the toast can go inside the toaster and then be pulled out, and then the butter can go on the toast, and then the toast and toaster with the butter can then all get inside the hot tub. Or not the hot tub, but just like the tub itself.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, that is a fun way of describing an orgy. There's a lot of in and outs.
Yeah, you can let people think about it, but you don't have to bring it up.
No, I have to bring it up.
Okay, well, what would our duo names be, if we were a couple, which we are?
So, I've thought long and hard about this.
Okay, how hard?
Not that long and not that hard.
Okay, that's what she said.
One of my favorite trends, it's kind of a dead meme right now, but still my favorite meme.
Yeah.
Is that there's this guy that had like one of those childhood like boxes with like all the shapes on it, right? You got to take the object, stick it in the right hole.
Oh yeah,
and it'll fall through the bottom of the box.
Yeah. Is it the one where like he puts everything in like the square hole?
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Yep. And so one of us would just be named as a random shape.
Okay.
Like whether it be circles, a triangle.
Okay. Yeah.
Probably
whichever shape
we'll go with
like.
circle. Circle's a good one. So
circle's good.
Let's say your name is Circle, and then my name would be Square Hole.
Or goes into the square hole?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, something on that lines of just the circle goes in the square hole. That would be our duo name because it's so dumb and it fits our personality.
No, I think that's funny. I thought about one thing that's very basic. It'll be like yours will be report my ADC and mine will be report my jungle.
That's a solid one. I'm pretty sure you already have an e-couple name.
Oh god.
And I'm gonna expose you. On the spot.
No.
Yes.
It's just a joke. It's not an actual e-couple name though, okay?
So his partner also plays League with him. And she goes by the name of Char in game. And you have a little side account.
We've actually never played together though. After she did the name change.
I know, but you have a separate account that you've played with me. I've never seen you guys play together, but I know it exists. It's called Char's Slave. You dirty man.
Bro, okay. I really didn't think I was like the others, but I am very much like the others.
You are 100% like the others.
Now I actually gotta play on that account with her because she changed her name to the simple one.
I know.
So they're gonna just match.
Yeah, you didn't even mean to. It just happened. It didn't dawn on you, did it?
Yeah, it did not.
Yeah, you guys are the Valentine's e-couples.
That's just scary.
It is scary. It's terrifying.
Sorry, God.
Why did you do this to me? So.
Well, I hope everyone had a great Valentine's Day.
Yep.
Like a moo.
He had a great Valentine's Day. One of the best.
Every year.
Yep.
He represents like 99% of the league.
I did play him on Valentine's Day too.
Damn.
Yeah. Gotta represent.
Speaking of a moo, if we're gonna transition to patch 13.3. He's still broken.
Yep. Still broken. Honestly, this patch didn't really do anything for me. It was mostly just to make supports better. And in some cases, if you're in Korea, you get Alistar AP in the mid lane thanks to Showmaker.
It wins.
It does win. Have you seen that?
No, I haven't watched the gameplay, but like I know he played it. And
yeah, he played it against the one I watched was against Nikali. He one shot Nikali as the cow.
Oh my god,
that's
more of like a cursed Earth build because I've done it on Earth.
Yeah,
but
no, he does it in a normal game.
My goodness,
the balls of this man. But I would say not my favorite patch. Honestly, the last 2 patches haven't been my favorite.
Well,
like I understand that each patch has been focusing on a specific like role.
Just because ASOL exists that way.
Yeah, but like previous patch, big buffs for ADCs. This patch, big buffs for supports. All of the other 3 lanes have just been completely suffering.
I mean, I'm honestly happy for support. Like the champion range of supports, there's a lot. The champ pool is way bigger now in terms of viability.
Yeah.
You know, and it's obviously clear when we watch LCS, you know, it's not just Nami or Lulu, you know. We finally get to see some spicy Rakan gameplay, find some of the great like Nautiluses, everything like that. So it's good, you know. I'm tired of just seeing Ashe. But just because the engaged supports have gotten buffed doesn't mean that the ADC support meta is gone, because I'm still seeing it a lot after the changes. I think in terms of top lane, nothing has really changed. Even after the Jax buffs, Jax is still broken. Darius will always be tier 1. I can't really say much about that. The thing I'm a bit annoyed about is that jungle hasn't changed at all. They nerfed Maokai. They did a nerf on Udyr.
Barely.
Yeah. Like
nerfed him. Though I will say in 13.4, he is getting a harder nerf.
Which is good.
Needed. The only really change that's happened in the last 2 patches is Jarvan got buffed and is now... he's joined the top 6 of Get Wrecked.
Yeah, I mean, they've definitely increased the viability of champions in the jungle role.
Not by much, though.
But not by much, yeah.
They like tweaked it to 1 or 2 can slip in now.
Because it won't really change as much if the broken ones are still there. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like, I know they're nerfing Udyr and Maokai, and are they also touching Mumu? Possibly.
Possibly, yeah.
But... we don't know until it's 100% confirmed. I still think that Demonic Embrace needs to get more nerfed.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, we looked over the Demonic Embraces before. Just 0.2%, really? Like, is that really going to change anything?
No, it does not. It does not change anything. That's like saying I have $1.02. I lost 2 cents. I still have $1.
Yeah. Yeah,
I'm still gonna buy something with that $1.
Yeah, inflation ain't gonna do much to that.
Yeah. Well, nowadays maybe I can't buy with it. Let's change it from $1 to $5. Then I can buy at least like an Arizona iced tea.
Yeah. But let's talk about the big hitter that happened with this new patch.
Okay. What do you got?
And that is Annie.
Annie. Oh,
yeah.
That's a big one right there.
That's a very big one.
She is destroying. She's on this. I would say she's more broken than ASOL right now.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean,
and
they did hotfix.
I still hate him.
Yeah, it's disgusting. I mean,
he's still so tanky.
He's still tanky. The ult is crazy. Hopefully, there will be more solutions to deal with him. But right now, he's still kind of hard to play against.
Also, I've recently discovered is when he sets down that big giant pool. If you get CC'd or stunned, it sucks you into the center.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I saw it. I saw my ADC get stunned, but I don't remember what it was by. I think it was an Elise, like the little like Elise like wad, like spits the web at you, stuns you. Yeah. And then all of a sudden, my stunned ADC is being like moved. I'm just like, how is that possible?
Oh, God.
And then she goes into the center of the star. It explodes, and then he ults, and she's just done.
That's disgusting.
I'm just like, why?
He's just like a good teamfight champion too. And like, not alone is he like a good teamfight champion, but he just looks so easy in those moments where he just stands there and just fire breaths, you know? He just shooting his fire breath or whatever and just standing there. And like, champions are attacking him, but then while they're attacking him, they're just getting whittled down.
Yeah. Though I have found a counter for him, for me at least.
Okay.
And that's good old Sejuani. Give me all of the CC. I will freeze your dragon ass into the ground.
That is the only way though, right?
Just dump the CC.
They made him more slippery too. That's for sure.
Yeah, like if you want, like if your whole team hates the soul. I want you to see a Blitzcrank on your team. Give me Sejuani, Orianna, or Syndra as his opponent.
You got to give him the ADC treatment.
Yeah, just full CC lockdown. That man will never have fun again.
Yeah. But, I mean, to the ASO players out there, he does have like a 52% ban rate right now. So good luck playing him.
Yeah. But people aren't banning Annie, and so now Annie's slipping through the cracks.
Yeah, I mean...
Like, I understand, like, I'm pretty sure the buffs were to make her more viable as, like, a support, as, like, a secondary champion.
Yeah, because they buffed her E, the shield, of course.
But anytime that you buff the durability and survivability of a support, it'll affect them in any other lane that they're in. And so right now, in the mid lane, Annie is, like, cruising early, in my opinion.
Yeah.
She just has the earliest early game, or easiest early game, out of all mid laners.
And she's already been pretty easy if you think about it, especially with like the mana refund and the ability refund from the Q and everything like that. Or does she have a mana refund?
I don't think so.
No, just the ability?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, well the ability refund and everything like that, like she's able to farm safely and easily, you know?
Yeah, and now she can do it without too much worry of damage.
She also has very easy access to stuns in terms of like engages and ganks and stuff like that, but like now,
well, unless you have arthritis, then she's not the easiest.
Good point. Good point. Thank you.
Yeah, you need to mash those 3 to 4 buttons, and if you can't do that, you're donezoed. Arthritis,
my bad.
The biggest Annie weakness.
You know, that was really random, but
for all them very old middle-aged people wanting to play a child, it's a no-go for you if you have arthritis.
What's wrong with you?
We already mentioned the candy man. At this point, we're done for the day. Want some candy? Come here, little boy. Tibbers. He can come in the van too. I like him fluffy.
The van's gonna blow up.
The van's gonna blow up. Just hear a slight knock on the van door. Okay, side note. Say if like the whole candy van scenario did happen in this League of Legends weird modern verse that we have going on right now.
Shopkeeper.
Who would be the person to like stop it?
Stop the Candyman from happening?
Yeah.
Garen. I don't know. Someone really just like justified and someone's very lawful and just like boring. Garen.
My two thoughts immediately were Garen and Shen. Just like as Annie enters in the van, just Shen just teleports in and just appears sitting next to the snatcher and just looks over and just goes
taunts him.
Yeah, just not even like in-game taunt, just starts insulting him.
It's like, what are you doing?
Yeah. Just think of like the disappointed like Asian father.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm just like, you bring dishonor.
You bring dishonor to the family.
Yeah. And then Garen just fucking slams.
Demacia.
Yeah, just Demasia's the door open. Yep, that was my shower thought just now.
I appreciate that. That was pretty funny.
Yeah. Sometimes you just gotta think of like how it would be if like a League of Legends character would just enter the modern world. Draven would probably be in prison.
Well, speaking of cute champions, Seraphine is also the most broken bot laner right now.
Well, okay. To be fair.
To be fair.
That's just because she was originally designed to be a mid laner and somehow ended up as a support. So she's like this weird gray area where sometimes she'll dip up the ADC chart and like be in the top 5.
You know what's funny though about like Seraphine mid? Like I'm surprised they tried to put her mid, but the fact that like her big shield, like it's even already hard to get unless you get like the 4 stacks, right? And then she has 0 mobility. Her base health is like nothing. Everything like that. If they made her as tanky as like how Aesol is right now, then maybe she'd be viable. But even then, Aesol has so much more mobility and everything like that. That's why she doesn't really work for me.
I will say I have seen a couple of Aesol ADCs though.
Stop. I'm going to get pissed off. But I don't know. I mean, maybe the NA region is lazy because Seraphine is not the best bot laner in other regions. But in NA, Everyone's like, oh my god, Seraphine. If I have any excuse to play in Mage ADC, I will. And are just picking Seraphine.
Well, I think it's just because most NA players aren't that skilled. Like, I look at my champion. Mm-hmm. I'm a big Silas boy. Love him to death. I love to int. Int to win is my strategy in life.
Gotcha.
You look at, like, the world stats on him, and he sits, like, second tier.
Tier 2.
Yeah, tier 2, decent, like 49 to 50% win rate.
Yeah, he's like in around the top 10.
Yeah. I think any champion that sits around 49 to 50 is good, because all that means is just like, if you know how to play the champion and you do well with them, you'll get the dub.
Definitely. Like, obviously, if you see any of the champions, if they're pretty mechanical, then they will have like a lower win rate.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean that they're bad. You know, it's just skill issue.
But when you just select NA only, he just dips.
He just dips.
Like, drops down hard.
It's the same with Nar too. If you think about it, you know, he's like really bad in terms of in the NA region. But if you look at like Korea, China, and stuff like that,
even EU,
huh?
Even in the EU,
even in EU,
yeah.
Oh my goodness, Nar just like tier 3. He's still up there just because of his kit. You know what I mean? Like, people are able to utilize it pretty well.
Yeah, and then he comes to America and gets like a 44% win rate.
Yeah, and then only like the good players play him.
If that.
If there are any.
Yeah, I just feel
we'll
like
get into that later.
as Americans, I feel just in general, we're the ratty type. We're the cheese boys. We would rather just get the basics down on how to cheese to get the easy dub.
And that's why we hate Shaco. I feel like NA has like the strongest hate for Shaco, actually.
Yeah.
Especially, you know, with Pinkward, he's from NA, and there's like Chase Shaco, who is disgusting. And my goodness, you're right. So many rats.
Yeah, we're big rats here in America.
Like, in NA, they like the e-girls, you know, like Kaisa and like Zaya and whatnot. And then here, we're just like, haha, I'm invincible.
Yeah. Well, it goes back to the whole Valentine's Day thing of the way you said it perfectly, of just the way NA League players go is they always want to make the other team not have fun.
Yeah.
That's just the NA strat. We have fun by not allowing you to have fun.
That's true, but
I feel like that's more just NA, not just League players, just NA League players.
We need help.
Yeah. Actually, just NA players in general, even in Valorant, I feel like a little bit more cheesier.
I agree. So what do you think needs to be changed for like the next patch? Like one big thing, one major thing.
One major thing, I want them to bring back my jungle camps. I want more gold and less XP. I don't like the more XP, less gold.
And why is that?
I just want money.
You want money?
I want money.
Why do you need money as a jungler?
Because I'm a Silas main. I don't CS, even as a jungler, as Silas. I just gank, get some free monies, buy items, win game. It's simple.
So basically, your whole Silas playstyle revolves around you getting more money based on kills. So you get more money from getting kills over jungle camps, so you'd rather focus on the kills.
Yeah, and then when I do need to get a jungle camp, I would like at least like either full clear or like a 3 camp clear. At least give me a decent amount. Right now, the way it works out is you'll hit level 6 before even getting like a decent amount of gold.
Wow, I did not think this would happen, but inflation has finally hit the rift.
It has. It's sad. Like, I understand
versus egg prices.
Like, I feel like it's a way of countering some like early game champions, but at the same time, I dislike it because they didn't really affect the gold income of a lot of the lanes. Like they did during the preseason, but haven't really touched it since. And like, I feel this jungle's just getting kind of dissed on. It's harder for us to get the monies.
I guess it's definitely a big change, especially with this new season. It was expected for junglers to be more of that carry playstyle, have like a big impact, which I'm not saying they don't. Yeah. But they're sort of like nerfing it, which I don't think is necessary, especially since this whole meta is more bot lane, not jungle.
Yeah, I feel like it's a way of nerfing some of their problem champions, like we've discussed a lot, like your Uders and all that. It goes back to the whole scenario of just nerf the champion.
Yeah, because if you nerf like the whole system,
it affects more than just...
the balance just gets tipped even further.
Yeah. And I'm still to this day a firm believer of just, I feel like since they have so many champions, just every season, nerf like a couple, like 5 or 10, probably like less for like smaller roles like ADC, there's been a lot of you, like champion wise, but just like hard nerf, like to the ground, like 5 to 10, and then hard buff 5 to 10.
And if they did do that, we wouldn't be seeing Zeri for like 2 years straight.
Yeah. Since we've also split up to where there's now 2 splits, just flip it. So that way, in the long term, for 1 full year, you'll have like 10 to 20 champions that will get to see play, and then 10 to 20 that just will take a little break. Next year, swap them. I don't care. Just spice it up a little bit.
And
there's not enough spice, I feel like.
And how do you think like the one tricks will feel about that? Because there are some players that just only play Pyke. You know, there's very popular one-trick champions.
I am personally against one-tricking. I think it's like, I understand you liking a champion. Even with the way the system's going right now, I feel like one-trick doesn't really 100% work. To say that you are a Pyke one-trick. They just buffed all of the defense and engage. Like, Pyke did get buffed too, but like, think if Pyke didn't get buffed.
Yeah.
It was just like the tank engages. I feel like he would get shit on so hard and be kicked out of the meta anyways.
That's true. And we also don't see as many one tricks, especially when we go up the ladder. Like, for example, TF Blade, he pulls out that pocket Garen sometimes. Or we see like the Hecarim player, he's been playing Rengar, Bel'Veth, and all these other champions.
Slightly, like, I can understand having a main. You can have a main champion.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. But the champion shouldn't be your only like identity or playstyle.
Yeah, because basically one's only option may end up just being the downfall of your whole team comp.
Yeah. And if you are just a one trick and it doesn't fit 100%, you could cost the whole team a loss. You could just drop in rank.
The whole script might be written before the game even starts. Yeah.
Especially if you like your one trick Yumi right now.
Oh, goodness. No more Netflix.
Yeah, but it's just like a primal example. Like she got nerfed completely to the ground. I've still seen, not just like in my games, but in like streamers that I watch that are like high elo. Yeah, they still get a Yumi 1 or 2 in there, and they just go, "Oh, it's this Yumi one trick."
Goodness.
And they do bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just.
I mean, that champ has like a 40% win rate right now. And people, some of them, I'm honestly surprised, but like a lot of players, they don't look at the patch notes.
That's the problem behind one tricking though, as well, is you don't care about the patch notes because that's the only thing you'll play. And then I feel like in that sense, it's also bad because if you don't pay at least somewhat attention, like you don't have to care about the stats. Honestly, biggest recommendation I'd tell any new person in the game, just look at the green and red. Look at seeing who's got the buff and who got the debuff. Look at that. You can tell like 80% of how the next couple of patches will go. I
mean, I still recommend that new players obviously one trick just to get the basics down. But I definitely agree with you. Do you think that having a new patch every 2 weeks is too much? Because we've also heard complaints that like, especially pro players, they always have to, they don't have time to stream. They always got to be grinding because there's always new changes happening. As you can see from like the bot lane meta, everything has completely flipped. And in terms of jungle, there are more viable champions to play. Mid lane has also completely flipped.
No, I will say against the pro players, I feel like a lot of the times they're also just lazy.
You think so? Like you think NA is lazy?
Yeah, like Nami Lucian.
That's true because it got nerfed. But people are still playing it.
Yeah. And so I think that it's just NA specifically just not wanting to change. Because the problem with NA, I feel like also is that they don't really make a whole lot of moves themselves. It's mostly from like Bria, LPL, maybe once or twice from Europe.
But we definitely want them to play first. We want them to sort of create their own meta.
Yeah, and they just.
But it's not happening.
Yeah,
I definitely understand.
Like
that.
EG has kind of created their own meta of just being known to be very scrappy.
Yeah.
Which some might say is from like the LPL strats, like during LPL glory days. But I feel like Evil Geniuses have kind of like taken it and then they've just added their own twist to it, their own style of how they want to do it. And it's now theirs.
Absolutely.
You might see like a couple of like the dead metas appear once in a while from them, but they'll do it differently than how it's supposed to be done.
For sure. And I mean, they've been doing well.
Yeah.
They've been doing very well.
And so I will say, like, they're one of the few teams that will do things. Other than that, though, it's basically like cookie cutter dry.
Yeah.
And so I feel like pro players shouldn't have that much to complain about, just for the fact that, yeah, it patch drops every 2 weeks. Also, this game isn't designed for just them. It's designed for everyone.
Yeah.
And if something does happen where something does become broken or busted or like completely overpowered, I would rather have it be fixed in 2 weeks than fixed in like a month or 2 months.
That I agree. Because as we know, Riot Games messes a lot, especially in terms of balancing.
Yeah, so imagine when Maokai was completely busted, if they didn't have like a way to like somewhat drop him every 2 weeks, imagine if he was like his peak busted for like a month or 2 months. That's all you would ever see everywhere. Not only in pro play, but in just your normal games. And then it would no longer be fun to watch, and it wouldn't be no longer fun to play. That's my opinion on it.
So what you believe in, and I also probably believe in, is that you believe that players who are more experienced and are able to have a variety of arsenal options, you know, a big arsenal of options, should be rewarded more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because all that comes down to is just them being good at their job.
Definitely.
That's what it is, bottom line. A pro player, it's your job to be good at it.
And I honestly want to bring that up, especially with the support role. If you look at the support role in Korea compared to how people see the support role in NA, it is completely different. Like, the support players in NA, in Korea, they are like the game changers, like the playmakers, you know? And I think, especially like if you look at Carry and Barrel, like they know that, you know what I mean? That's why they
and
do.
Mako.
Yeah, but like they do different champions, right? They change champions because they understand that supports impact the map, especially
Also,
the most at the early game.
Fun fact, they'll try things out in their own games, just like while streaming or in solo queue, and then they'll bring it to pro play. Look at all the ADCs that became meta for support for a little bit.
Yeah.
And then you have NA complaining, saying, oh, we don't have time. No, you're just lazy.
Yeah, and I definitely believe, like, especially because it's a spring season right now, you know, this isn't going to define if you go to Worlds or not. We don't have that dynasty, that legacy system that LEC has.
Most of the world has.
Yeah. So, like, in a way, I would use that as an advantage, you know what I mean? Just full limit test, be perfectly cleaned up for the summer. You know what I mean? And I definitely agree with picking different champions, that they should have the balls to do that. You know what I mean? Especially support.
Yeah, because like if you look at some of like the pro players around the world that like have very high moments and very low moments, that's because they have such a small champion pool. When they're at their peak high, it's when like one or two of their champions is like top meta, and then they shine. But the moment that those 3 to 4 champions that they play is no longer meta, horrible. Biggest example for me personally, I think, is Armot. It's like when his few champions were like top tier over in Europe, he thrived. He was like the face of Mad Lions.
Definitely, like it was like a couple splits, like literally those two.
Yeah, he was like the face of Mad Lions. Helped them get like their first championship.
Absolutely,
in the LEC.
The Wukong meta definitely carried him.
Yeah, and Nar, and then immediately as those dropped down, like it no longer became like the main focus. Mad Lions dropped down a little bit. It's honest to say that.
Yeah.
And then you see him over here in Dignitas, where none of his champions are like top tier. He looks worse than a lot of like young academy players that don't even know what they're doing.
Definitely.
And it's just like, come on.
It's a thought that like,
and that's why I like boil it down to like why I dislike One Tricks is like based on that like whole thought process.
It sort of messes up with the meta.
Yeah,
for sure. And I definitely understand that. And League almost kind of ruined it, because you remember last year where they said they want to give more strength to the One Tricks?
Yeah.
It also kind of added to the fire, which obviously the game didn't realize. But yeah, I definitely agree. And the part where he said that the players are lazy is not only just being lazy, but the fact that because they're not spreading their wings toward other champions, they're almost limiting their own like skill ceiling.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you agree? By opening your horizon, you can try new stuff. You can see what kind of power you have what skills you have and your potential. Right now, like the max potential we really see in like the good supports in LCS are just really good like engaged players. Like engaged players that know how to time and everything like that. But if you look at the bigger picture, that's just the basics of support.
Yeah.
And the support players can definitely go beyond that.
And I will say, just like Korean culture in general, they tend to go a lot harder in just everything than most.
Yeah.
They put like 110% in to where like they eat, sleep, and do that one thing, which has made them really good at esports.
Absolutely.
And I will say, not everyone can do that. Probably like only less than half of the like leagues around the world could do that. Maybe like just the LCK, maybe one or two other teams. But I believe that there's a way that you could eventually do it though. Like you just got to find your own way of doing it.
Yeah. And if they all really want to win, they can do it.
Yeah. Like I feel like if as a player you don't want to just do that for not only yourself but for your team, then you're just trying to get that easy money and be lazy.
Yeah.
It's kind of like the equivalent of not wanting to improve as like a professional esports player in your own like play style and team.
Yeah.
Is the equivalent of just doing nothing in America and just accepting unemployment check, in my opinion. It's the same. Like if you're not willing to put in the time and effort, then you're just accepting an unemployment check. But just with the fame behind it.
No, I definitely agree. Now that we said a lot of the bad of LCS, let's say some of the hopefulness in LCS. Some hopes is that there is some variety. As we see, like, for example, Prince, the biggest hotshot right now in LCS, he's been playing a different ADC like every game. And that's sort of the variety that we want. You know what I mean? Just like how Carrier, he mixes it up every time. Prince is proving that in the ADC role as well. And of course, there's other roles as well. Like we saw TSM Solo, he pulled out the Cho'Gath. And we saw, some old ones would be like Bjergsen Zillion. Only thing is that he only plays that champion for the difference maker.
Spica was the first person to bring out a Mumu in the LCS in like 10 years.
Absolutely. So luckily we are able to see some variety.
Yeah, not as much as I would like.
We would want to see more. Absolutely. Yeah. There's Lehens who like played like Singed support and other things like that, which almost became a staple for him. I think hopefully we're on the right track because we're seeing it more now, but it can be way better.
Yeah. And with all that, I bring the question to you. So we've been talking a little bit about pro, but I want to focus more back on solo queue right now.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
If you could spend like one day, or not even one day, but just have the right to fully change something in solo queue, what would it be? Because I have my answer. So if you'd like to think on it real quick, I can give you mine. So for me, the thing that I would want to change isn't really change. I just want to add a voice comms.
Oh, wow.
Voice comms is a big thing because sometimes people have a hard time of like looking at the map for pings. Not everyone can be focused on that because sometimes you're hyper focused into a fight, right? And you can't look at your text or anything like that. And as a person that's been playing a lot of Valorant recently, I find it helpful to when someone calls out of just like, hey, they're to the right.
Not even then, like pings can get annoying as well.
Yeah. And like, granted, no matter where you have voice comms, there'll always be shit talking and all of that. That's just part of voice comms and modern internet. Name a game where they have voice comms and that isn't an issue. It is. But I feel like even then, for the people that don't just hit /mute all, I feel like with voice comms, like if it was in the same manner as Valorant, it'd be fine. Because in Valorant, you can just mute just voice.
Absolutely.
And still keep everything else. So if that's how you want to do it. I feel like for those that are wanting to climb and solo queue and all of that, they'll like try to put in the effort of like, say like you're in the bot lane, you're fighting, someone yells in chat, hey, jungle's coming down. Is way simpler saying that than anything else.
Yeah, because the pings, they can get kind of crazy. And like a variety of them, people use different pings to communicate the same thing too.
Yeah.
And I don't see why you wouldn't do voice comms because if you do want to mute someone, it can be as simple as muting someone's like chat, You just press tab,
like I
press the button.
For Valorant. Valorant is a Riot-based game. Granted, different like groups are working on it, but I feel like it's like you just easily transit over.
Absolutely. And turning off voice comms is as easy as muting someone
in text.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
it's just one extra button you have to click.
Exactly. Like, what's the hurt in it? If people can mute people's chat and mute their pings and emotes, it's gonna be same thing. You can just mute their voice comms as well. It's gonna be the same button, same simple step.
Yeah, and if people are worried about saying slurs and all that, they could just do what Overwatch did, where they just have do a little recording of you.
Do they have voice detections?
And so like you have to hit accept when launching the game initially.
Yeah.
But if you spit enough slurs out an open mic, they just perma mute you or ban your voice talk.
Yeah, I mean, it's Riot Games, and I'm assuming Riot Games has a lot more money than Blizzard. So
as of right now, probably.
Yeah. So I don't see why they can't do it.
Yeah,
sure.
I think it's two things I think are the issues right now on why they can't do it.
Mm-hmm.
One, they haven't updated the UI or launch system in years, and it has way too many bugs to count. So I think they probably have to revamp that before they can add voices in. I feel like for the fact that such older games have voice comms, like CS:GO, and then CS Source and all that, they had voice comms, and those are old games.
Yeah.
So the fact that if they say that it would be too hard, I think that's just them not putting enough effort into it.
I mean, they did it for Valorant. I think they've seen a lot of successes in Valorant, so I don't see a reason why they shouldn't transition those successes to League of Legends as well. As they say, we do know that they care about the game, so I guess that's a good part. They are communicating with us more. Hopefully, they have voice comms in the works.
Yeah, because I don't think I've ever seen anyone use any of the new pings correctly.
Yeah, they don't. It's honestly made it a little bit more complicated.
Yeah, because I try to now hit assist, and then 4 to 5 other pings appear.
Yeah, I've low-key been using the push lane one. That one's not bad.
But you have to hold it and then make sure you're selecting that one.
Yeah, because sometimes I use the wrong pin. I have to say I sometimes use the wrong one, and then I'm worried that I accidentally confuse my ally. For sure. A change that I would like to do, this is very small compared to voice comms, even though I was thinking of voice comms too, but I would like Gromp to give heal again. I don't know, I just miss it. I liked killing Gromp and healing. I hated the idea of Smite giving you heal. Okay, I just didn't like that. I thought that was stupid.
Yeah.
There was a lot of cheese stuff.
Would you want the shield back on Gromp then as well, or just let him heal? He had that small shield where CC or something had a...
No, he didn't.
Mm-hmm.
That was only Scuttle.
Wait, what do you want? I thought that's...
Gromp,
Gromp.
The frog.
Yeah, I want that.
Yeah, I want the frog to heal me again.
He also gave you some mana too, I'm pretty sure.
Really? Okay, yeah. I don't remember that because it was mostly the heal that was noticeable, but I liked it. I don't see anything wrong with it. It was just a nice heal that I would get before going into Dragon Fight or something like that. You know what I mean? I thought it was exciting,
It's nice.
Mm-hmm.
It's very comforting that you think of me.
Yeah, I mean, no problem. I mean, I would still Dragon Camps more if it did give me heal.
That's fair.
But I liked it. And in terms of LP gains, I think they can definitely improve in that too. In terms of, but I think they can improve it, but I have a hard time thinking of how. Because, for example, let's say a Scion's goes 0-10, but he's destroyed the enemy's base to the point where only their nexus is open.
Okay, so
if that Scion loses a game...
I've thought about this. Two things of it is, again, Valorant does a nice job to where, based on your performance, say...
It's hard to track in League,
say you're bottom tier, and I'm top tier.
Mm-hmm.
A top frag, you're bottom frag.
Mm-hmm.
You get 19, but I get 24, because I got a performance buff of 5. So
it's so hard to track performance in League though, because every champ is useful in some different way.
Yes and no.
Okay, go ahead.
So I think the best way to do it would just be the KDA followed behind objective and gold.
Objective and gold.
Just those 3 things.
KDA, objective, and gold. Or what if they didn't include debts? Part of the algorithm.
Yeah.
Don't you think that would help? So they would include KP, kills, and objectives.
Yeah, but you only give it to either the best or and either the number 1 best or the top 2 best on your team.
Okay.
So not everyone on your team can get it, but just the top 2 dogs.
Yeah, because I know they can make it. Yeah, they can make it very strict. So only if there's a player that's gotten either a ton of objectives or has really good KDA and KP. 1 or 2 will just get the buff. Yeah.
Also, you got websites u.gg, op.gg.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you pull up match histories on those websites, it'll tell you like who is the best player out of everyone.
Yeah.
Like both your side and the enemy side, and it'll do a ranking from 1 to 10.
Mm-hmm.
If you could just have that, whatever calculation that they do there, just transferred over, the math is already done.
Yeah.
Through those websites.
For sure.
So if Riot could just do some math, they're a bunch of computer scientists. I bet they can math it up.
Yeah, I mean, I am worried that some League players might find like a secret way of like a secret like LP hack.
I haven't seen one in Valorant yet, and they've had that since the beginning.
Well, but Valorant's easy to track because everyone shoots.
Yeah, but just based on the website stats, though.
We'll see.
Every time I look at it and I just go, yeah, that's fair. I probably did about third best out of all.
Yeah, but I mean, but in Valorant you don't need to get objectives. You don't need to get dragon. You don't need to get towers. You don't need to get.
Well, technically, spike, like planting the spike. And
just spike.
Yeah, but that performance includes plant, defuse, and all that.
Yeah, but there's also like CS and like camps, dragon.
Yeah, for Valorant they have economy.
Yeah, there's economy, but like that's a bit different. That's just managing. That's not getting.
Kind of the same.
I think it's harder. So that's.
I'm not saying that it isn't hard. I'm just saying it can be done.
Mm-hmm.
Like that would be a solid way of boosting it. I do like how that they're kind of making it more give or take right now. They're going to be increasing the amount of LP you get, but also increasing the amount you lose. Mm-hmm. So that there's going to be more of a dip.
Yeah. In
how it goes. So a lot of people will be either climbing faster or dropping faster.
It's a little bit good and bad because we notice that will help Smurfs climb faster so that we'll be able to see less, right? At the same time, I don't know if it's good for them to buff the LP gains because right now, so many players are hitting Challenger really fast. If you look at last season, there were so many players that just couldn't. There were so many top players that just couldn't make the Challenger. Like big streamers. Mm-hmm. But all these big streamers have hit Challenger. Even some people that have less than a 50% win rate have gotten Challenger. Or even high masters or high grandmasters in like the first 2 or 3 weeks. But like all these players have hit Challenger so much faster than last year. I'm just thinking like, isn't this just going to make it worse?
No, we'll find out. We'll find out in a couple weeks.
We'll find out.
We'll do a quick speed through because we had a lot happen this week because it was Super Week.
Yeah.
Like I mentioned at the beginning.
Yeah, I mean.
And so we got 3 days.
We got some good stuff to talk about.
And so I want to do a quick run through with you. I'm going to hit you with something. I want your opinion on it, and then I'll give you mine. So day 1, which was Wednesday, which was really weird. Mm-hmm. Not gonna lie, it's kind of weird watching games on a Wednesday.
Yeah, it was.
Best and worst for the first week.
So best and worst I put down was CLG versus Team Liquid. The reason why I put this is because obviously I'm a big fan of top lane, and I am fascinated.
Is this your best or worst?
Best. I'm always fascinated by like how people play. Yeah, I like Dokla. His Irelia was a clear winner in terms of team fights and just turning around the game. I was just impressed. I mean, no one really has the balls to pick Irelia and LCS, but he did it. He was actually managed to turn it around because, mostly Irelia is known as like a laning champion, right?
Yeah.
But the fact that he was able to pull off Irelia, land some amazing game-changing ults in terms of like team fight and everything like that, I thought it was great. It was a show. I mean, I know he's already a really good mechanical player. We've seen his Yone, obviously. It just shows that, we have some strong mechanical contenders.
Yeah, I marked that one down as my favorite match for Wednesday. Mm-hmm. For me, the worst game Wednesday was EG versus 100 Thieves.
EG versus 100 Thieves. Oh, can I say something?
Yeah.
For Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, let's just say I put down 100 Thieves for all of them.
As the worst game?
Yeah. I'm just gonna say that just because I have expectations.
You want to know a funny fact?
What?
That's the same for 2 out of the 3. There's a third one that's a special one.
Okay.
Yeah. You want me to just list off that third one for you?
Sure, go for it.
Okay. Third one was good old Thursday. You know what happened Thursday?
What happened Thursday? My
team, FlyQuest, dropped the ball and lost to TSM.
I thought that's the best match.
That's the... What? No,
that is the best match.
I got so tilted by that.
FlyQuest lost. That is some of the biggest news we can talk about right now.
It is.
It has been so boring. Just FlyQuest constantly winning.
No. That's not boring.
Okay, sorry, my bad. But like, I wanted something.
You're just upset that your Korean team is not doing good.
I wanted things to get shaken up a bit. Okay, that's all.
I want them to be.
I like
Top
Top Dogs. I like Top Dogs. Unless it's T1. Unless it's T1, because I love T1.
Oh, so it's okay if it's your team, but if it's my team, they deserve to lose?
99% of the time, I am rooting for the underdogs because it's exciting. That's all. I like FlyQuest, but it's exciting when the underdogs take it back.
My team is number one. You want them to lose?
No.
How dare you?
That is not true. That's because your team was an underdog before.
I still like them now.
Okay, I know. Okay, don't cry on me. Okay. So yeah, that was my favorite team. First of all, Maple, his Talia is flawless, beautiful playing, and the Cho'Gath pick, crazy. I mean, obviously it didn't do very well early game, but they had a good game plan. That Cho'Gath later into the game were just frontlining for the Talia, and the Talia were just like Q, stacking on the damage. It was beautiful.
It was a good game to watch. I would say that game was probably my favorite and worst game.
Yeah, I understand. Like as a FlyQuest fan, obviously you would have liked it, but it's cool because when your favorite team's bumping heads with another team and it's not a clean sweep, it's always fun to watch.
Yeah, that's why it's my best and worst.
The best one for my third game is, I put it down as my best game, but it's actually my worst game. I put it as best because it was like funny to watch, but like in a sad way. It was Cloud9 versus Team Liquid. The third game, Team Liquid had a strong early game. They were winning and they were destroying. They got Baron and everything. They got to their their inhibitors. They just dropped the ball. They completely dropped the ball. They had multiple chances. Blabber inted right before Dragon spawned. There were multiple fights where they made so many mistakes. And even then, Team Liquid managed to prove that they're a worse team at the later stage of the game.
Also, Fudge spilt some tea about that game afterwards with an interview with good old QT Cinderella. I'm loving her, actually. I'm loving her as like an entertainer.
I don't know. She fits so well with the LCS, I gotta say.
Yeah, I 100% support her.
Mm-hmm.
I loved the behind the scenes drama of Jan messaging that their academy team was better after winning, I believe,
a team fight for Drake, I believe.
Yeah, or Baron, one of the two.
Yeah.
Getting destroyed, and then Sven not shaking or fist bumping him when they like do the pass by. It's like good sportsmanship. Yeah, I was just like, ooh, spicy.
Yeah, the funny thing was a lot of NA people were saying like, oh yeah, like since our games are so like not fun to watch, we gotta have people like this that like are spicing it up. But I did learn some backstory because Jan did tweet, and he did say that he will say something if the enemy team flames their mid laner, because apparently C9 actually flamed Team Liquid's mid laner first. Yeah, I know, but that's what Jan said on his tweet. So when they actually won something, that's when Jan responded back. And that was his explanation. He responded back and he just muted.
You know what? That's fair.
Yeah. And I think that's fair.
As a person who hates Sven, I still dislike him. So I feel like there's a difference between shit talking and sportsmanlike conduct. Now you can say like Sven could have like whispered something or messaged something at the end of the game as like a response. The whole like unsportsmanlike thing. Like in most other sports, you get like fined for doing that shit. Like it's two different things between shit talking and then.
But we don't see it, so that's why we don't see the chat logs. So
I know
but I think that's good. That's why they can do it though.
Yeah,
which is great.
It firms my belief on why I dislike him.
Yeah, I don't know if it was Van that was the one that typed first.
And then he immediately went to Twitter. I think either that night or the following morning and apologized for his conduct. I'm just like, you only did that because your PR lady probably told you to.
No, did you even see? He didn't even apologize.
It was kind of an apology.
It was not an apology.
For him, it was probably as most apology as he could get.
He says, I apologize for like them being shitty and firing me up. That's literally what he said.
That's why I said that it was probably an apology from him.
He was like, I apologize and thank you for firing me up. Like, really? My goodness. But yeah, I mean, I heard from Jan. He said like, oh, like, obviously I'm going to respond if someone says something to me. That's what he did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100% respectable. With all of that,
player of the week.
Yeah, what would you say the player of the week was?
You're gonna be very, very surprised by my pick.
Okay.
Can you guess?
No.
Just one guess.
Prince.
Stixay.
Funny enough, my player of the week is also on Golden Guardians because they went 3-0 for Super Week.
They went 3-0.
For me, it's their mid laner, Gory.
Gory played me. I was either between Gory or Stixay. The only reason I'm bringing up Golden Guardians is because, you know, their bottom tier team, they went like I don't know, 0-4 the first 2 weeks or something like that.
Something like that.
Yeah, and they're suddenly showing up, winning 3-0 in the Super Week. It's amazing. They did even go against completely bad teams. I believe they went against like 100 Thieves, TSM, and then like a bad team. So decent mid-tier teams. They did pretty well. And I just have to applaud Stixay for getting crazy KDAs. I think in one game he went 10-0 on like Seri. And he did not die a single time. 0 deaths all 3 games this week. Can you believe it? He went 0 deaths in the Super Week and managed to maintain a high KD as well.
It's pretty impressive.
Yeah, like I think it's great. I mean, I don't think Licorice is that good, but they knew that and they put him on weak side. They just put
let's
him.
be fair, he's always been weak.
Yeah, but like they put him on Renekton so that he has better surviving.
Honestly, he did an okay showing on Renekton. I'll be honest.
But like they let him be safer by putting Renekton so that he doesn't just instant night, because if you're losing early as Renekton, you must be really bad. They just let Gory and 6A carry later into the game, and just like wow, what a comeback story. I don't know if it'll last, but what a comeback story for sure. Luckily, CLG as well. They've made sort of a comeback over this week. I believe like 2 wins, 1 loss.
Kinda.
2 wins, 1 loss.
Yeah.
It can't be as bad as 100 Thieves.
I feel like the only reason why they lost 3 games in a row is because they went against their winning play style. It could just be my opinion. I'll run it by you.
Yeah.
Get your take on it. I feel like 100 Thieves, the games that they won and popped off, they played way more aggressive.
Yeah.
They went for more of like the early to mid game comps and styles and just ran with it. A lot more aggressive, a lot more jumpy, divey.
Because remember the EG and 100 Thieves game? They were not playing aggressive. They did nothing.
Yeah, and EG beat them.
Yeah.
And that's why I think because they didn't go with the hyper aggressive type of play style, they went for more late game comp kind of passive.
Oh, so you're saying they should have played a more early game comp.
Yeah. Because when they don't do that, they just basically get steamrolled and do nothing. Yeah. Like I'm pretty sure in one of the games during Super Week, Double Affiliate texted, or not texted, but tweeted that was one of his most boring games ever.
Yeah.
Just because
I saw that.
They didn't have anything lined up for themselves. Like not just him, but like just the team in general. There's no like early game presence. And I feel like right now the biggest meta is the early to like mid game. If you're good enough. If you aren't good enough at that, but you're good enough at stalling, then you can pull late game off. I feel like if you don't know how to properly stall, you shouldn't do late game. Yeah. If you know how to properly stall, you can do late game.
For sure.
I feel like 100 Thieves don't know how to properly stall enough to do late game, but they have found more success in the early game skirmishes.
Absolutely.
And not seeing that once out of the 3 games, I feel like was their biggest downfall.
No, I think you're right. I think stalling late game is not the way to go, because even if you're stalling to late game, if you're a late game comp and you're still stalling, as we saw from like EG Cloud9 last week, hey, like if the Lucian engages first, if the early game comp still engages first on the late game comp, early game comp will still win somehow. But it works like that, I know that 100 Thieves, I saw an interview, they're going through this champion draft idea of picking the 3 presidents, Ornn, Azir, and Jinx. But as you can see, that's so NA. You know what I mean? Like doing absolutely nothing and then like seeing coin flipping what will happen near the end. Like that's so old school. And like we've seen other teams that have like been growing out of that. But it's sort of like 100 Thieves stuck in the past. I know they're trying to follow EG's example of last year, but that was last year. And even if it was last year, EG's completely different story. They can play early game comp, late game comp, doesn't matter. They're still going to play scrappy. They're still going to trust their mechanics.
They've mastered the art of scrap to where they can apply it to any comp.
But 100 Thieves, they're playing the waiting game for what?
No reason.
Exactly. Even if especially in like the higher tier regions, as we see, like if something gets taken away from the top lane, the jungler on the enemy team will instantly go bot to try to get something else. It's a constant battle of trying to maintain or get a higher gold lead, right? They're constantly grabbing each other by the throat, and it's like, no, I got you, no, I got you. But then, I don't know, like if you're just constantly gonna wait and see who overpowers one another, the waiting game is not gonna work.
Yeah.
It doesn't work.
And to wrap it all up, I would have to say that like, for me, the MSI rundown, it's still FlyQuest. For the second team, I don't know. I can't choose. I can't lock one down right now. It's too unclear. Like Before, like, when 100 Thieves were doing their, like, beginning skirmishes, I would say them. But now, there's, like, 3 or 4 teams that could be slotted there. And I can't personally decide.
I definitely am happy that the majority of the LCS teams have gotten a lot more competitive, which is exciting. You know, there's a lot more matches to look forward to.
But would you say that it's because they've all gotten better, or just because a lot of the top tiers have gotten worse?
I think they've gotten better.
The bottoms have gotten better?
Yeah. I mean, first, like, FlyQuest at the bottom. Now they're better. Golden Guardians. Golden Guardians.
I'm just saying for this week, like this split.
Oh, this split? Yeah, I think so. Obviously, there's still bottom tier teams like Immortals and Dignitas. But if you exclude those two, the rest of the teams are still putting up a fight. You know what I mean?
Okay.
They're still putting up a fight. It's very strange to just see like CLG and Golden Guardians just play better in the Super Week versus Team Liquid and 100 Thieves. Like who would have believed that? You know what I mean?
That's fair.
But they're all being competitive, so it is very exciting to watch. For my top 2 MSI rundown, I will have to choose FlyQuest as my number 1, and for number 2, I'm gonna have to pick EG. I think in terms of team solidity, they're the 2 number ones. Like both of those teams just work so well together.
Now I will say I'm excited for this upcoming week, week 4 or 5, I believe 5.
I think week 5.
Yeah, week 5. And that's because Cloud9 announced this morning, and it's gonna tell people when we recorded this episode. It was good old Sunday, but this morning, Sunday morning, Cloud9 announced that they're replacing Diplex with another mid laner, another person that I believe they brought in. But it's from their academy team, and they're going to try him out in LCS.
Yeah, and the Twitter comment section was going crazy. They're saying like, oh my goodness, I can't believe this guy was in Challengers. Like, this guy's supposed to be really insane. I'm very excited to see how this all goes.
Because I didn't mind Diplex.
He was good. I liked him. Yeah. For sure.
And so, if they feel comfortable in doing this, I'm curious on how well they'll be.
Yeah, this guy's name is Emenes, Emenes. Okay. His full English name, which I believe he's Korean, from what his English name is, it's Minsu Jang. Okay. Minsu is a very common Korean name.
There's a lot of common Korean names.
Yeah. So I'm assuming he's Korean, but a lot of people are saying like, oh, this guy's insane. It's crazy that he's been like benched. He's been playing exceptionally well. I'm assuming he's just been popping off in challengers right now. Yeah. I am kind of sad to see Diplex go because he was a great player. He kind of reminded me of Zeka, how he can just like pick a Kali or Silas and just perform really well mechanically. As you saw when he was like 1v1ing a Blaze Olive, he was just like getting solo kills left and right.
Well, it's also a Blaze Olive.
Yeah, but still, I thought it was really cool how confident of a player he was.
Yeah.
I like the confidence, you know? You don't really see that from like old boomers like Bjergsen. But when you see like these young guys just like going at it in the mid lane, dangerous lane where junglers love to feast.
I do love watching JoJo just try to ego in. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, but it's always enjoyable.
And you always got to try it, especially in the spring. But yeah, it's exciting. Cloud9 is already a strong roster, so we'll see how this change goes, how Blabber and this new guy will be able to adjust.
Fudge almost got Player of the Week for me. It was really close, but I gave it to Gory.
I mean, Fudge, I would say, is a great top laner.
He's gotten way better.
He's the best right now. I'd have to admit, he's the best top laner.
Yeah, and then I would put him at number 1, and then personally for me, I would say it's tied between Tenacity and Impact for second.
Tenacity and Impact, yeah.
Because Tenacity, on some of those games where the rest of his team just were being steamrolled, you could see him like trying to go against the way probably their coaches wanted it played. Yeah. He tried his hardest.
I think we have really good, talented top laners right now in this region. I think Summit is still really good. A lot of people have said he plays just like the Shy. But as we know from the Shy, when he was in LPL, you got to make a team that works well with the Shy. Yeah. And that's how you succeed. So I hope that Team Liquid will be able to do that too. Other top laners, you know, Sunday's really good.
Honestly, we have 8 good top laners. Just get rid of Licorice and Revenge and you're golden. Dang. Yeah, that sums it up.
Well, yeah. Well, we'll be excited to talk about the next podcast.
And yeah, can't wait to see you all soon. This week we'll be hopefully dropping all of our media we've been slowly building up. And there might be a little surprise in some ways. You might see something slightly different in the next coming week. We're working on something a little special. We're brewing. We're cooking. We're cooking something.
Let us cook.
Yeah, we're cooking.
Yeah.
And can't wait to have you guys listen into next week. And
absolutely.
Thanks for tuning in, and hope you guys have a great week.
Mm-hmm.
And just chill, relax, and just remember in the back of your head that grass doesn't exist. Hey.